that, as we saw mentioned, hasn't had a lot of changes.
Hoody's up close on this. He could be in so much trouble. The timing is all that separates him from death. It looks like he's going to make it away. Be able to fight for a retake. A wall still online for him if he wants to try and deny the plant. We've seen a lot of teams go for that. Although for now, it seems G2 are just going to wait patiently and allow FNATIC to get control. And it's a good thing they did. A deep wall comes out of the attackers, and then they late split through mid. That has completely caught G2 off guard.
Yeah, these are the sort of pistol rounds that you definitely don't see too often. The deep wall with reclaiming of any chance of the rotation. And, well, nukkye is very good in these clutch situations, but I think a 1v4 in the pistol is going to be a little bit much. Nice start from FNATIC. And as said, like, this is their map choice. It's one that, even though we haven't seen them since Champions, they've always been good at. Like, I mean to the point of Summon FC always good at this map. So I would be very surprised if FNATIC came in and looked underwhelming. It's similarly to how we used to always talk about their binds. Like, this has been one of their strongest for a long, long time. As said, though, G2 are also comfortable on this map, and I feel in a way that, I don't know about what you think, Mitch, but picking an icebox is always very risky because I don't think it's anywhere near as heavily leaning as other maps might be.
I think getting off to a poor start on this map, though, you can always get right back into it. I mean, depending on what side you're playing in, but here for FNATIC, they're in a little bit of trouble, to be honest. Look what they're up against. Double marshals as they run down the alleyway, but none of the shots are connecting. FNATIC are going to continue to move on forward with that drone, gaining themselves a lot of ground and making it hard to use these marshals to get back in, especially now that the wall is there. Catching an angle is going to be tough.
Yeah, for Derke, just on the pistol, definitely going to be able to take a few extra risks in this sort of round, almost aiming to try and get towards the Blade Storm. I'd say that on this map in particular, his Blade Storm may be more deadly than any other in the world with how aggressively he takes that A site back. For G2, though, this is the problem. Like, you're stuck within the site trying to retake from yellow when you have a huge disadvantage. Utility even falling down, assists coming through from the Viper lineups of Mistic as well. And they've gone for a counter wall here, but they haven't been able to get anywhere near this defuse. They're just trying to bait these remaining players from FNATIC in to try and get some final frags, but it's not going to be happening.
No, not a single one, in fact. And I don't think anyone's going to go down to that spike. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, that is a double kill for it. All right, so look, a decent bit of damage off the back of that.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect two. I was thinking maybe the last player would go down, but the fact that a couple of them have died to the spike turns that round completely on its head, because in reality, that should have been a pretty clean round, as we sort of stated. It's interesting because for anybody wondering, we definitely do know that the cams are backwards. So I'm sure there's someone out there that's scratching their head like, well, I thought AvovA was dead. How's he saving? No, the people are definitely going to fix that. Don't worry. Cams will change around, but hopefully we can keep things nice and clear for you as the rounds go on.
Yeah, as you guys can see, we got a lot of new stuff for you here. New UI and all that sort of stuff. So I really like that we have the maps up top left. This solves the... I bet there's still someone in chat. There's always someone in chat. Hey guys, who picked this map? Every time, dude. It's like, just like, come on. Nukkye's gone.
Who picked map 3 though?
Oh, good point. Yeah, just got all the bands up there as well. Chuck in their full names. You know, what's AvovA's first name? We need to know. Chuck it in. All you can see is the crosshair at the end of the day.
FNATIC have actually invested quite heavily into this one. They are not playing this as a bonus round whatsoever. They are gunning for that victory and maybe caught nukkye off guard in the early stages of the round. Now, they do have the retake wall ready and set up, even using some of their utility early to try and deny that initial space. Well, we got a little bit lost in the sauce, but they are going to be getting themselves a plant here.
Oh, no, they're not. That wall's broken immediately and straight away. They're going to have to go to a plan B. Maybe it's planning a little bit to the left, but no. It's losing Boaster. He's been headshot immediately. The attempted plan to bait them out into the open works. As AvovA's caught. Another player spotted. There's only 10 seconds left, but only one player, and they've dealt with them. FNATIC. They have really just... I don't know how they've gotten away with that round. I don't want to say got lucky, but my God, that is not a round you win every day.
No, and it's one as well where I feel like other than just hitting their shots, G2 actually did everything right. Did really well to delay, denied the plants, and then you just have... They know exactly where they are at this point. And then, of course, Magnum's just in the back with a Spectre. Like, just tunnel visioned in a little bit too much. But, yeah, flying start for FNATIC. Winning what was, well, sort of a bonus round, but not really. It does still give a couple of their players a lot of extra cash. And, well, 3-0 up. Don't worry, Mistic. Nobody saw that.
All good. It's all good. Those barriers sometimes stick around a little bit longer than you think. Derke's going to try to peek this headshot angle, but it's nukkye that he's up against if he does. He's going to approach this one with caution. AvovA even there to trade. These pistols want to get some value, having invested into the sheriffs and light shields. Want to at least make sure FNATIC don't get away with all of those rifles.
Shot down.
Okay. Decent start. 2 of the 3 players down. Same plant we've been seeing in the last map as well. Elevated angle. Even waiting a second. Oh, they're getting the ult orb. I like it. Take your time. You've killed everyone off. You know that the remainder are probably the rotating players. Make sure you maximize things as much as possible in this round, FNATIC. And well, for G2, any kills, anything they can get, especially with the 2 players that are remaining, 3 ultimate orbs away, even just a kill or 2 would be worthwhile. And there you go. keloqz, even if he dies here, he's only going to be 1 away from his ult.
He will die indeed, but as you said, just the 1 away. Made sense to go for it.
G2 are losing by a lot.
Yeah, they really are. As I said, if they lose this round, they're left with absolutely nothing. FNATIC, definitely not in the same boat. Gives them a large amount of wiggle room to play with at the start, and their attacks, this is the other part, right? G2 are the ones that are getting figured out. They're the ones that have to constantly go to their backup plans, change up things. Well, it's going to be keloqz pushing mid. It's a big change with the operator. We see this a lot, but they're close now. They'll be able to get the trade on this if he's not quick, and keloqz has made it out, dashing his way to safety as Meddo picks up Boaster. That mid play for FNATIC has been shut down.
I like the second layer of it. Like, having Meddo there makes sure that even though keloqz had to dash away, the other players weren't just given the free space to try and lurk through, and he's now going to go back for more and catch Mistic. That operator already worth its weight in gold. And you can see the remaining 2 players from FNATIC are just on complete opposite sides of the map, just trying to find anything they can. Hoody's already spotted 1, and Brave won't be able to connect. And, well, Magnum, 1 versus 5. Spike at least close by, but there's no reason for the remaining players of G2 to do anything overly aggressive.
No, they can just hunker down at this point and play this one nice and comfy. Even towards the A site where there's a weakness, AvovA's got his util and is now pushing up and gaining some extra information and control. The G2 have got a net cast on this round, and the mid-control fight in the early stages has worked out exactly. I mean, I don't even want to say as planned. I think that's far better than they planned.
Yeah, I think the fact that Meddo catches Boaster trying to aggress further, that was the icing on the cake. They just wanted that initial kill, and then for keloqz to be able to reposition. And for Magnum, it looks like it's just going to be a save. I wouldn't have minded if he tried to go for something a little bit more aggressive, and maybe he still will. Not a lot of time left, and well, Meddo still had his setup available to catch him as he goes. It is a flawless round. Ults now getting much closer to online for G2, but as said, on the other side of things, you still got a Blade Storm, you still got a Viper's Pit, you got a couple, well, every ult within 1 or 2 orbs, so FNATIC could just bounce straight back, and G2 need to make sure that doesn't happen.
The thing that makes me feel comfortable that G2 are back in the game at this stage is the fact that that was a dominant round. They played it disciplined. They did not look to lose control at any point in time. That was on the back of a mid-fight that went very much their way. Everything in the early round played perfectly into, I want to say, into their hands. Obviously, they had set themselves up for that. But now, coming into this round, as you said, Ultimate's online for FNATIC. There's a lot of pitfalls that G2 can fall into, and we're not going to see them attempt the same sort of early round ludicrous aggression. They are instead playing much more passive, playing towards the sites, and we're hoping that they'd find an opening with keloqz. But now that that op's being spotted, it's not very likely that they'll be given a duel towards the B site.
Again, though, they've kind of left a lot of this A site down to a solo hold. AvovA, the only man in position, and with the rest of the team of FNATIC looking to try and breathe down his neck, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this initial setup. It doesn't look like they're even in a spot to really have things to retake this. No lockdown available just yet, and AvovA's just got a delay, just spamming his utility to try and make sure they can't get through. And actually, he's just caught the spike.
That beautiful spam. He knew they probably wouldn't be pushed past that initial snake bite, and he's able to pick up one because of it, delaying them by an incredible amount of time. Honestly, 30 left on the clock. Shock darts are coming through, and AvovA's walking on out afterwards. He's going to push into that ult. At least he thought about it for a moment, but he thinks better. Waits a second, backs off, and hoody, he can see through this by the looks of things. That is a gorgeous spray transfer. Brave was taken down, and the round has fallen to smithereens. FNATIC have no choice but to try and save this rifle. Even then, Derke on 30 HP running to spawn. Luckily, keloqz missed his updraft.
He didn't make it over the wall. Oh, I guess I don't think they're going to care. Like, sure, it is an extra weapon for Derke to play with, but back-to-back flawless rounds for G2, and that is one way to explode into the server. And, well, we've always highlighted AvovA as a player that can turn rounds. I don't think anybody's questioned that. One of the best controllers in the game at the moment, but this was impressive. Like, just holding the line, delaying as much as possible, and then you just have hoody with a... I don't really know how he transfers that to a second player. Maybe he can see slightly more than I can, or maybe I need my eyes tested, but for me, I could see nothing there, so fair play.
Yeah, with a Vandal too. You know, I always love players spraying inside a Viper's pit randomly with a Vandal. It's not a tilting way to die, nor is that. Up on top of the wall, keloqz has just ruined MAGNUM's day. He's going out for more and found it with Derke dealt. Oh man, G2, they've got complete control of this round. What an impressive bounce back this is after the pause. 2 rounds found, and slowing it down, playing those picks on the off. Well, it's granted them a lot of kills, and keloqz seems to be unkillable. Never mind, he's dead.
Boaster has a res. I don't know if they'll want to commit it right here and now, but Brave has found another. This turns it into a winnable spot and definitely worthwhile, but it doesn't seem like he wants to give up his position. Instead, he swings onto Meddo, who's caught off guard. This was a 2 versus 5 just seconds ago, and well, it's now a 2 versus 1.
Yeah, the snake bite down actually stopped the res. Honestly, can't res them inside the snake bite. And Boaster's going to have to get that plant. Not able to pop a res now. They're going to rush him down. He's got to play it. 1v2, he thinks maybe one's still coming from B main, but both have grouped up, isolating the duels though still. What a good job now, having a rough idea as well. Oh, the peek's coming through. Boaster's rounded the corner just in time with a sliver of health. He'll get healed back up. He'll even pop the res. Now nukkye has to move quickly, rushing in towards that res, but he won't catch him. A 2v1 in FNATIC's favor, and they're running away. Nukkye cannot catch them, so he tries to bait them into the open, already defusing it halfway, but they'll catch him in the end. 4 kills for Boaster. This man's the IGL, but he's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
That is a round that G2 never should have lost. It never even should have been close. Like, keloqz did everything he could there. 3 kills to kick off the round, basically repositioning every single time. And then you just have, well, I don't know what this bit was. This is not the bit I would be replaying, if I'm brutally honest, because both players just running in different directions. I don't know if Mistic actually had a gun or was just trying to escape, but whatever it was, it ended up working out. And yeah, huge clutch out from Boaster there. That was crazy.
Back-to-back flawless rounds for G2, and then that's how it goes. A triple opening for keloqz and a round loss in the end. It is a devastating way to put 5-2 on the scoreboard, but at least G2 have picked up the opening yet again. keloqz op seems to be incredibly strong so far in these defensive rounds, pushing up on multiple different angles, finding those duels, and it's going to start to play into FNATIC's mentality, but they have managed to push up towards this B site still. They're going to look for a plant here.
Patient stuff from Meddo, making sure to clear the angles, and that's the backline's gone. We've seen this deeper wall a little earlier, used to deny a lot of those snake bites, which people have been popping in, and keloqz, well, he's been spotted, but he spotted his opponent as well. A lot of information currently for G2. The main worry is Boaster, again, in a fairly aggressive position. He's going to win the fight onto keloqz as well and make this a 2v2.
No, they've dealt with him at least, but still, Brave is here. 1 versus 2. AvovA low HP, even spots him. The shock dart through should be enough, and indeed it is. They know where he is, but time is on his side. He just needs to keep this clock running down. nukkye catches him through the wall, though, and so the defuse will be found. G2 will pluck it up to 3, but it comes close once more. FNATIC are doing a great job of fighting back into these rounds, even after they lose those opening duels.
Yeah, that it almost worries me a bit more than for G2 than it does FNATIC, because the fact that like FNATIC losing those early battles is not a good sign. Like the fact that keloqz has basically just been styling on them, but for G2 it almost looks like in a lot of really strong positions that either they do crumble or they come incredibly close. And well, a lot of this just came down to a 1v1 with nukkye. Now sure, he's someone that I think you can rely on a lot in those scenarios, but they shouldn't have needed to.
And that's exactly it. You know, look, 2 of the rounds for G2 have been flawless. 1 definitely could have been better. The building blocks are there, and they've certainly got a lot to back them up. 4 ultimates coming into this round, and immediately we're going to see a Hunter's Fury, but it's on FNATIC that it's popped, already having tagged up AvovA. He'll be down, and it looks like Meddo was going to get hit by it, but MAGNUM beat him to the punch.
Oh. Boaster just about hidden, shot starts landing, and he actually gets out of there. It looked like he was dead. Derke has been getting farmed by keloqz so far in this map. Every single shot connecting, res comes through and brings it back into a 4v4 scenario. Still, there's a lot of after plant utility, and in fact, they're even going to use a lockdown.
That defuse, though, that's going to scare them. Movement's got to be made. AvovA's already got it halfway.
Oh!
He's still on it, and he's going to get it right under their nose. The snake bite comes in just a second too late, and G2 have found the round.
What are these rounds? And they're so backwards. Like each one, there's a team that has an inherent advantage, and then it's like, and never mind. Like just sticks that all the way through. There was a lockdown. They had so much utility. In fact, I think the snakebite even killed him just seconds after he got the defusal done. But AvovA with no fear, and that is not the first time in, well, I guess in this part of the tournament. We also saw him do that in the qualifiers on the B side of this map.
If he keeps that up, I'm certainly not going to be complaining. Hoody's been tagged up. He's going to fall back, but look at the switch. Hoody runs away, but keloqz, well, he takes that as an opportunity. Oh, there's players pushing here? Okay. Targets, you mean. And out he goes, but Derke catches him, finally punished for that over-aggression. Hoody, the back of yellow. Good for the first. No res possible. Look at that. He's only got 2 charges towards it even after that kill.
It's an interesting wall, though. He's locked himself into the back of the site. It just closed the door on them, and instead, the players lurking through mid have been caught by nukkye. It leaves this really awkward battle for Derke, and then the other player trying to get the spike down. Look at the wall that's now been put down by Boaster. He's trying to innovate. Like, what do I do here? Where do I plant? He's had to put it the other way around to just try and get anything, and he's isolated himself.
Yeah, that is insanely smart play from Hoody. This guy came into the game as a jet operator, 2-dimensional player. I was certainly not a fan in the very early days, right? I'm talking, you know, when he initially jumped over, and obviously what did every CSGO operator player or op player do when they came to Valorant? They went, oh, jet, ooh, operator, I'll do that. But he has grown nicely into a very, very strong player. And they sit comfortably in favor of G2 starting this round, but FNATIC could very easily fight back. They could have a Viper's Pit, they could have a Blade Storm, a Res, plenty of things that could come online here. So around the G2, although they have the advantages, they still need to be quite cautious not to give FNATIC any runway.
Don't like them starting to see a few more stingers come into play. And, I still have seen little to no value of this gun ever in a match. And Boaster's here to prove me wrong. You know, he was one of the connoisseurs of the Bucky FC in the past. So if anybody's gonna make this work, I guess it would be him. Hoody again. He's going to be cleared off the angle initially, and I wonder if it's going to be the same re-aggression. I doubt it, because in this sort of round, such an advantage for someone like keloqz if he just sits back and plays the range.
Yeah, that wall's even going down as we speak. A shot through, not going to land, and a rush from Hoody. Oh, this is getting a little bit scary now. FNATIC are on the site. They've got weapons. They've got a Viper's Pit activated. That, you know, oh, okay. That's a good scalp to take. You can talk about the Stinger being weak, but good luck fighting against it inside this ulti.
True.
Oh, that was close. Narrow range right up in his face, but even point blank, Magnum comes out on top. The drone. It's a Hail Mary play to try and find that Viper. They won't do it just yet, but Mistic is being spotted now, spraying inside the ulti. He's going to try to pick a little bit more, but nukkye is making quick work of those players. A 6th round is found for G2 here.
Yeah, and the thing that G2 did incredibly well in that round was actually just delaying, because at no point did that plant go down from FNATIC. That's what they were desperate for. You have that Viper's Pit, you have the plant, the round almost seems like it's yours. But they just didn't allow them to. There was so much utility just being thrown into that Viper's Pit. Every time they tried to tap it, a drone went through, a shock dart went through. You had nano swarms, you had snake bites. Like, just nothing allowing them to get anything done. And then you also just had the spam through the Viper's Pit. So, yeah, well played by G2. Of course, they use a couple of ultimates of their own in the mix of that. And for this round, at least, it looks like, unless Derke could get his Blaze Storm, I'll be interested to see if ults actually play much of a part at all.
Yeah, I think the Blade Storm would definitely make sense, but the others being so far away, Magnum, you're not really getting a lot out of that Killjoy ult in the early round, and with 2 orbs, what he needs a kill in the orb. Like, you're not really gonna farm that up that quickly. Maybe for post blind it can have some sort of impact. 10 seconds left as we roll on in, and keloqz op is just the danger man at the start of every single round. This guy has been a terror for FNATIC to deal with. And coming into this round, he is once again towards this A site where he's found a bit of success in the past. He's going to get aggressive with it early on. Look at how quickly he's moving forward. This man has got an operator. And the reason he's so confident to take that angle is because AvovA's covering from behind.
Yeah, they know as well that the likelihood is they're going to try and play for one of the orbs. Now, unfortunately, if they'd gone for the B one, there probably would have been a good opportunity to try and find something. But with the setup that's there initially, we've had the deep slows alongside the screen and then just spams coming through every single round. So just not worth the risk of going for that orb. Instead, though, this position has been held for an incredibly long time. And after a while, FNATIC are going to go poking. So we'll see if keloqz can get out of it alive. They're going to hear the drop down of Boaster, so they'll definitely know that they're here.
That's valuable info. If keloqz was thinking about going back, he is now going to just sit in this position, no doubt about it. But the drone forces him to fall on back, and Derke catches him on the way out. That is such a quick kill for FNATIC. They'll execute off that right away. Blade Storm popped this. They're going to attempt to use that height advantage, see over the utility, but they've lost Derke. They've lost Boaster. The whole team is gone. FNATIC only have Magnum. And he's dealt with quite quickly. Mistic was way, way back, and, well, you can see now he's coming to a pretty messy party.
Time's the main issue here. Sure, there's 3 players on the other side, but with 15 seconds left, they have absolutely no reason. Actually, they're just going to wall him off. Oh, no, he's had to reload. He's definitely going to run out of time. Oh, my God, that was close. That was way too close.
If he had gotten that, I don't know, my heart would have taken it.
Very good on their defensive side. Their attack at times a little bit more questionable, but a lot of that was just because they always started defense and we're getting 7+ rounds each time. So this is really going to be for FNATIC now to prove us what they've got, because again, this is their map choice.
Standing ahead.
I can feel comfortable on the defense, perhaps, but getting a little bit aggressive. Looking for someone to take some peeks. Patient play has been a staple of at least the first half, and that last round very much summed it up. How long do we have, 4 players separated by a wall, just waiting for the other to make a move? G2 are going to move towards the B side. Plenty of util here, though. Killjoy's actually put all her stuff down, so Magnum's going to be able to slow them. Maybe even get a lot of damage out. They've pushed right up to the site, but G2 have different ideas. They're going for that deep plant.
Oh, I think this is an even deeper plant. They're looking to try and plant for the opposition's spawn. Fighting all the way into it as well. A great start from AvovA. There is a trade back onto him at least. Turning things into a 4v4 scenario, but retaking this spot is definitely going to be a little bit difficult.
An audacious move, yeah, bringing it all the way towards their spawn, but it might just pay off. As you said, FNATIC facing some difficulty. They break open the wall. Now getting through that choke point is quite hard. The wall that they have from earlier, not really useful, but the bullets certainly are. Yeah, oh, it's nukkye that has to stop that defuse, and he'll only get the one. Brave closing it out with a nice little shot onto keloqz. We are at 7-6, and I have to say, FNATIC winning that pistol, that really puts the game into motion.
One of the things I really want to give credit to Brave for is the fact that I feel like he's very good at surviving in scenarios where he shouldn't. And this is a prime example of it. This round is over if Brave dies. They have the whole spawn. Every single player can focus in onto where they planted. And that was the plan all along. You kill the players rotating, and then anybody else coming from other spots is screwed. Brave stayed alive for the entirety of that round. He spammed a couple of shock darts, and he gets 3 kills from what looked like an impossible scenario because they were literally playing to kill him. So, yeah, impressive work. Currently second on the board. We sort of highlighted that maybe we don't expect him to be one of those top fraggers for the team, but thus far he's done well.
Yeah, he absolutely has. As we said, big boots to fill, but he was picked for a reason, and so far he's living up to it. Derke taking a while to get that shot off, but it'll work out in the end with keloqz down and out of the round in the first couple of seconds. FNATIC still comfortable with taking some ranged fights, but maybe they shouldn't be.
145. Nobody enjoys those except for Kukuka. I learned that recently. Kukuka loves a 145 because she likes people suffering, I guess.
Yeah, it breaks my heart every time I see it. There's nothing worse because it's a great sound. You know you've hit that headshot, but it's also a horrible sound. Did you know they're not dead? Boaster, nicely done. Pistols won't be getting anything. It's all left in nukkye. This man can do a lot of damage, but they've gotten away with it flawlessly. And a flawless second round plus the pistol, FNATIC couldn't ask for anything better than this. Didn't they win? Yeah, it was 4-0, right? So they won round 3 last time around.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've won themselves both pistols at this stage, especially going into a map that a lot of the time I think most teams are comfortable to play. If you win both pistols, you should close out Icebox. Like, well, I think across all maps it's 80+% of the time. On Icebox, I feel like it should be higher because it's such an advantage, your economy being built up early. Now, if they can win the bonus as well both times and then somehow lose this map, that will be one of the most gobsmacking defeats I've ever seen.
Well, winning the bonus, so let's take it one step at a time. They've already lost MAGNUM. So FNATIC on the back foot. G2.
Oh, it's the turret down.
MAGNUM's gone. No turret, no halls control. And keloqz has spotted that. He knows they've got complete control. The spike is still in spawn. All the doors are open for G2 right now, and they don't seem keen to shut any, but eventually they'll decide to move towards the B side.
That is not a spot you normally expect a Viper to be in.
This is second player here. Oh, okay. I figured nukkye wouldn't expect Boaster, but in fact, Boaster didn't expect nukkye. And with those kills, G2 are going to storm towards the B side, where they should find a convincing plant. keloqz has been spotted, though. Oh, he's now in danger. That's a Guardian on the other side. It's not a guaranteed fight. If it was a Spectre, he'd feel that little bit more confident, but luckily he's going to be able to slip away.
Oh, no! Delete the mod. Delete it. No one needs to ever see that. It's his debut. We give him a break. We give him a break, all right?
And Tom, you've been really impressed by Brave anyways. What did you say?
Timmy's hit the gym, you know? Since we went away, he's been hitting the gym. He can now actually take 7 shots. There you go. He was warming up. He's warming up.
Yep, that's all right, Brave. You have made up for it immediately. Thank God. He thought about peeking spawn. He's still thinking about it. This could be it. Viper is out here. If he checks it, dropping down. Oh, he can't reset in time. Well played by AvovA. 8 rounds for G2 now found. Still, they lost a lot of players.
Yeah, they get the lead back, but will it be short-lived? That's the question, because the thing that does play into their favor is the fact they've got Viper's Pit for AvovA. If they can get into an afterplant in this sort of round, there's not really going to be much that FNATIC can do other than to try and play into it. And, well, at least for now, okay, sure, they've still got a decent amount of utility on their side, but they don't have any ults, so it's a good chance that G2 will be able to take this over the line. The thing is, though, they don't have a lot of backup cash. Neither team does, but for G2 in particular, they're not going to want to let this lead slip.
Audacious play from AvovA. Creeping up beside the edge of the poison orb to try and catch himself anybody that peeks on through, but It's passive play from FNATIC for now. keloqz is going to be caught when he walks up through. Turret's seen him. They know they've lost kitchen. If anything, though, that's going to benefit G2's cause. This stops the rotation that was underway from MAGNUM, who is playing much closer towards the spawn. He could cover the mid push-up, which his alarm bot currently is. But most importantly, he could get to A faster to help out his teammates. G2 are stalling it out, hoping FNATIC reset, but these guys have stayed with that 3-player A setup for a long time. Now, though, they're starting to shift it just as G2 does.
It's like they're in each other's heads. It's the mind games versus the mind games, and they are holding and watching for keloqz to try and make a move.
There's a gap.
The split comes in. There is a gap in that wall, and they will have seen everything as they look to go past. In fact, Boaster's going to go over the top. It's audacious as hell, but it actually works out. You've had MAGNUM finding 2 as they try and rotate back through the kitchen, and now they've only got 20 seconds. They firstly need to kill off Boaster, who is trapped, but it doesn't seem to matter. Fighting out of that corner as if his life depends on it. I suppose it does.
Yeah, it turns out they were stuck in there with Boaster. He's able to take them all down. That's crazy. 8-8. And the wall play just dropping down into that little slot. Oh, I love that. That was a beautiful thing to watch. And here's the problem. Take a look at the credits over on that attacking side of G2. Oh, here we go again.
Spike down.
He's even
Nasty.
vulnerable as well. Like, they made sure that if he was going to go behind, they even had an alarm bot to stop him. So while he was taking that fight, he was as weak as could be, trapped in a corner, and he still gets 2 kills. You gotta respect it.
Solid old start. And as I said, G2's economy is in tatters. They have got practically nothing. Fighting for orbs here is going to be super important. Blade Storm almost up for keloqz. You don't want him to get that Blade Storm, but there's not much. You can't overcommit to denying it. They find... Okay, Hoody's gone down to a shock dart from Brave. My man has been learning his lineups, but they lost Derke. As I said, the Blade Storm, the big threat, and it's dealt with. Oh, he's 1 HP. He's made it out alive. keloqz will end up with another kill for his troubles. That's not enough. Not enough to give G2 the lead, and not enough to give them the win.
Again, an extra kill here would be great, but nothing going to come of it. Hoody is cursed. So he got hit by the shock dart in the early stages of the round, which lowered his HP after he healed to enough that when the second shock dart also hit him, he died from it instantly. You've just got to feel like you're almost magnetized to the shock darts at this point, that they're just following you around the map. But yeah, they get the Blade Storms used, couple of extra kills. Economy still looks pretty decent though, at least onto Mistic. 6,600 credits post buy, and they have a lot of ultimates online as well, like a Viper's Pit, Hunter's Fury, Rez. The others really aren't far away. Derke, wow, he's going hunting.
He's going to be spotted by that recon when it goes up though. They've destroyed it. Derke not having to even turn from the angle, but surely this is what stops them now. They haven't seen him. They don't know, but he's falling back. Scared of the amount of utility that went through, I guess. FNATIC have made the right call in backing off. And it doesn't look like G2 are even going to get aggressive on A main.
Yeah, I think it was because they forced Brave back, so he left it. He would have been left almost completely open to the rafters spot, so it wouldn't have been great. Again, we're going to see this kitchen control challenge. Now, it's worked one round, but that was only because they actually managed to get the kill onto MAGNUM. So with him still standing, information's definitely going to be there. And they've actually put the Viper's Pit straight down on the plant spot. MAGNUM just swings in. nukkye's gone. Blink and you miss it. Trade back from AvovA at least, but again, the time is ticking and they don't have much space.
You should
No option to pivot this. They've got to commit to B, and that's where this ult comes into play. That's going to be canceled out. There you go. Lockdown destroyed by the Hunter's Fury, and even a connection onto AvovA as well. Huge value. Playing onto the side. The snake bite gets Hoody. The spike is dropped because of it. Derke, although he falls, this round is looking like it's definitely going into FNATIC's hands. MAGNUM gets rezzed up. There's no time left. What a beautiful round from Mistic. A round almost as beautiful as the man himself. A 3K, 10-8 we go.
Such a simp. Oh, got it.
And then, you know, there's opportunities there. It's not the end of the world. They're definitely not going to feel that way. But you also understand how much pressure is on the next buy round. You lose that, map's over. And now you're reverse sweeping in. Look, it's a league system, so it's not like you're going to a lower bracket or anything like that. But at the same time, you definitely don't want to kick the year off with a loss.
Well, yeah, and this group is tough as well. Like, it's not one that I think you're just going to be able to squeak your way through. Like, in fact, FNATIC are probably considered one of their greatest rivals within this group, with the likes of Ascend as well, alongside Guild, who have looked incredibly strong. So that third spot is up for grabs, and the winner of it sounds silly because it is that first game, but it genuinely could decide who ends up going through. So every single game is important. There's no slow starters when it comes to this year's VCT. I'm on for G2, a slower round. It's kind of unfortunate as well, though, Mitch, because I do think if they had won one of the pistols right now, they'd be in the lead.
Very true. Very true. And I think for G2, it is unfortunate. You go 4-0 down, but you normally don't get this close to coming back into it, right? When you go down by that much, when you lose both pistols, they're getting a surprising amount done. And that's something I think is definitely going to be boosting the mental game for G2. Now, I'm not too worried about this. I'm kind of worried about this round because they've got a couple rifles here, but Boaster's going to be able to deal with that, so it's all good. 11-8, things go exactly as expected with no hiccups or worries. It's all fine. 11-8, 3 rounds between them. This is where G2 need to mount the comeback.
See, this is one of the things. Well, we talk to Sue quite regularly, and one of the things that Sue loves to complain about is that Boaster's life is Valorant. And I genuinely am starting to believe that he spent the entirety of like the Christmas, New Year period just DMing. Because man is looking crisp. And then that's not really what you highlight when it comes to Boaster in most matches. It is normally the big brain plays, but he's had some nice clutches, some big rounds where he's brought things back into contention, and FNATIC are looking good as a whole.
Well, Tom, you know what? If there's one thing I know about FNATIC players, they like to DM. That's why they've got this sick aim, this incredible skill. And G2, you know, they've got the same. We got tier 1 teams up against each other here, so we're expecting nothing less. Now, listen, 3 rounds between them, as we've said. It still gives a lot of wiggle room to FNATIC. They can feel confident, but I was not expecting this level of aggression. A minute 15 on the clock. They haven't seen anything, so they say, hey, screw it. I'm going to pop up a recon. Oh, what am I going to do after that drone? I'm going to peek with Derke. Brave's going to go aggressive. Derke's going to fall down, then pop a blade storm, updraft, and then take that player down again. Oh. He's not going to give up. No space is given to G2 in this one. As they try desperately to push forward, it always comes at a cost, and that cost is in the form of bodies. This time it's FNATIC that pay it, though, losing Brave, and Hoodie goes down with the spike up on top. That is suboptimal, let's say.
Yeah, especially because his opponent was almost spamming against him. Boaster, he's got eyes in the back of his head, and Derke's there to close it out as well. Huge round from FNATIC, especially considering the investment that was there for G2 in ultimates as well. One of the things that when speaking to Mini about Brave was that the way that the almost synergy, the natural synergy that him and Brave seem to have is what him and Derke have seemed to have is really exciting. And just already watching this icebox, it's like one player peeks, gets the kill, the other is waiting, holding the angle for the other, then they both fall back, then they swing together. Like it almost does just seem it seems like they've been playing together for like 6 months to a year, not like a month.
Absolutely. I guess it's something that we heard, but listen, every team, you're never going to have an interview with a team where they go, yeah, we picked this guy up. We thought he's kind of trash, but we needed someone.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
So, like, I'll tell. Oh, that's actually caught Jet. That's a good bit of damage done. Derke and Boaster both quite low. Brave, though, able to catch the first. And as he's falling back, Derke goes down. The repositioning coming through. Boaster's here to play with him. I like this. FNATIC going to try to make a micro play. The distraction was in. What? Brave still gets 3. Taking his time, tapping away, and this round is done. This map is done. keloqz will have to 1v3. A minute on the clock and the spike down. FNATIC not necessarily even control of it per se, but keloqz doesn't really either. There you go.
He's not going to expect Mistic to be there. Dear Lord, what was that for Brave? He's definitely here to stay. I don't think there's anything doubting that at this point. An incredible closeout to the round, and well, I'm liking the look of the new boy on the block. I want to quote another thing that